As dawn's early light began to filter through the window, the room was filled with a subdued but palpable sense of urgency. Eldrick sat behind his desk, the weight of the village's troubles etched deeply into his furrowed brow. Gabi, the seasoned hunter, stood across from him, his demeanor calm yet resolute. Eldrick broke the silence with a direct question. "How can you help us?" Gabi's lips curved into a slight, confident smile. "I am a hunter, and we hunters are experts in tracking people. If there's a trail, I can find it." Eldrick stood slowly, his movements deliberate. He walked over to the window, clasping his hands behind his back. His gaze was distant, looking out over the village as if trying to see beyond the visible. After a thoughtful pause, he said, "It's not as simple as tracking. I think there are more powers at work here, powers we could not understand." Gabi waited, letting Eldrick's words hang in the air. He finally replied, "Well, I can handle that too, you know." Eldrick turned to face him, his eyes meeting Gabi's with a mix of skepticism and hope. "I certainly don't doubt your ability, Hunter, but I believe there is magic involved here." Osama, who had been silently listening, interjected with concern. "Magic? Are you sure?" Eldrick's gaze returned to the window, his tone grave. "At first I wasn't sure, but now I'm certain." Gabi remained silent, observing Eldrick's tense posture and listening to the weight of his words. Eldrick walked back to his chair and poured himself a glass of water, his movements slow and deliberate as he took a sip, trying to steady his nerves. Gabi, noticing Eldrick's agitation, decided to share what he knew. "We came across something similar a few weeks ago near Karashia City. It was a strange beast, one that didn't quite fit any natural description. It had an unnatural presence, almost as if it was guided by some dark force." Eldrick's interest was piqued. He leaned forward, his expression turning more serious. "A strange beast? Tell me more." Gabi continued. "The task was to capture the beast. It was too much for a single hunter to manage, so 3 of us were sent. We captured it, but one of us was seriously injured and couldn't make it." Gabi's face frowned, and he took a pause, the memory clearly weighing on him. After a moment, he resumed, "The world is changing, and magic is not something new to us. We are just unaware of it." Eldrick intercepted, "And we also don't know how to get rid of it." The room fell silent as the gravity of the situation sank in. The realization that they were dealing with forces beyond their understanding was sobering, but the determination to protect their village was unwavering. Gabi broke the silence, his voice steady. "We need to prepare. If there is magic at play, we must gather as much information as possible and arm ourselves with knowledge." Eldrick nodded in agreement. "We must find a way to protect our village and our children. We cannot let this darkness consume us." Gabi settled into a chair, his demeanor calm and collected as he addressed Eldrick. "I can help you, but it will cost you." "Hunters don't work for free." Eldrick nodded, his expression resolute. "Don't worry, Master Hunter. Trade is going well, and we can pay you handsomely for your services." Gabi leaned forward, his eyes narrowing slightly. "Since when have these incidents of children going missing started?" Eldrick sighed, the weight of the past week evident in his tone. "These events began a week ago. At first, we didn't give it much thought, but soon, more and more children started going missing. And then there was the matter of children sleepwalking at night." Gabi listened intently, absorbing every detail. He then requested, "Could you tell me more about the most recent event?" Eldrick nodded and recounted. "The most recent child to go missing was an orphan. He was sleeping in the barn with his brother. This morning, his brother frantically searched everywhere but couldn't find him." Gabi's eyes sharpened with determination. "I need to see where he was last night." Eldrick turned to Osama. "Take him to the barn and provide anything the hunter needs." Osama nodded and led Gabi out of Eldrick's home. As they approached the barn, the sense of foreboding grew stronger. Gabi began his analysis, meticulously examining the spot where the child had been sleeping. He then turned to the child's brother, who looked distraught. Gabi asked gently, "When was the last time you saw him?" The brother, barely holding back tears, replied, 2 days ago, he told me about a dream he had. Something about a house of cookies and a trail of sweets." Gabi's expression grew thoughtful. "A house of cookies? Interesting." He then requested Osama, "I need to see the relatives of the other missing children." Osama obliged and led Gabi to the homes of the other affected families. One by one, Gabi questioned the parents and relatives, gathering crucial information about the missing children and their recent behaviors. At the first home, the parents spoke of how their child had mentioned seeing a woman with sweets calling them at night. At the next, a mother tearfully recalled her daughter talking about a mysterious voice calling her from the swamp. Each story added a new piece to the puzzle. Gabi noted that the children who went missing had stopped talking or seemed very sad in the days before their disappearance. Moreover, the homes from which the children had gone missing were very dirty, with a stench coming from them, and the children had slept in filthy clothes. Conversely, the children observed sleepwalking had garlic hanging in their houses. As the sun began to set, Gabi returned to Eldrick and advised, "Request everyone to wash their houses with clean water, burn incense to clear out the stench, and remove the garlic from their homes." Eldrick did as he was told. He went to the market square, called the villagers, and relayed Gabi's advice. He also instructed everyone to clean themselves, their children, and the elderly before sleeping. The villagers complied with the instructions, hopeful that these measures would protect them. After the villagers dispersed, Eldrick invited Gabi to stay at his house, wanting to discuss the situation further. As they sat in Eldrick's home, Eldrick asked, "What now, Master Hunter?" Gabi replied, "Now we wait." The night fell, bringing a tense calm over the village.